The year is 2020. The world is in a crisis, and I'm going through a quarter life crisis. So, what is it? Why am I going through it? And why haven't you smashed the like button for the YouTube algorithm? Clinical psychologist Dr. Alex Folk described it as a period of insecurity, doubt, and disappointment surrounding your career, relationships, and financial situation. LinkedIn surveyed over 6,000 young people aged 25 to 33, and almost exactly 75% of them agreed that they went through a quarter life crisis. So it was March 2020. I had just been furloughed from my 9 to 5, and I had all this time that I'd never had before, months, almost a year, to think about my life and think about what I truly wanted to do with my life. At the time, my only North Star, my only goal was to make music. But as the months progressed, I realized in comparison to other artists that had already popped off way younger than me, I had a lot of catching up to do. And I also noticed that the music industry is filled with just a lot of narcissism, and I did not want to be a part of it. So with a lot more time in my hands than I knew what to do with, I don't know how, but all I remember is I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn a language. And I decided upon learning Japanese because I remembered one of my friends from high school, Jadiel, shout out Jadiel for watching this. He went to Japan for 2 years. Well, he went for 1 year, came back to Miami, which is where I am right now, and went back to Japan for another year to teach English for the JET program. So I was like, you know what? If he learned Japanese, I could learn Japanese. So that's when his whole language learning journey started. And I started watching this Netflix show called Terrace House, specifically Terrace House at Low Estate. I got so hooked with that TV show that I watched every single series after that. Since I'm already a native Spanish speaker, I noticed that the way that you enunciate certain words, or most of the words in Japanese, like the sound, the pronunciation, the very sharp and harsh pronunciation, it's very, very similar to the way that you speak Spanish. Like Japanese and Spanish are similar in the way that you say things. So to better improve my Japanese, I got into this website called italki.com, which is where you connect with community tutors that teach you any language you desire. And that's when I started learning Japanese. After I realized that it was a little bit harder to memorize all these things than I wanted to, that's when I switched to French, because I remembered my other friend from college, Sergio, shout out Sergio for watching this too. He went to live abroad in Paris, and I was like, same thing. If you learn French, I'm like, I could learn French. And French is even more similar to Spanish in a way. Pronunciation is very different, but a lot of words are similar, the way you write them, the way you say them. After I was learning languages, I noticed that as time passed, that my values started to change. I realized that I wanted to do something meaningful. Maybe it's from seeing my father being an entrepreneur over time later in his life. I realized that the sooner that I can make my own sort of name out there and online, the sooner I can start to generate income and make profit from my content and from helping other people. I realized I just do not like sitting in an office being told what to do. Maybe it's the fact that being ordered to just go to an office at 8 a.m., just sit there and then just waste a lot of time. Granted, at the internship, the people were super nice for the most part, but I was still constricted. I was not completely free to do what I want. And I get it, you're hired to do a specific job and you have to do this job and you get compensated for it, but your time is so limited. You're basically exchanging time for money, and you can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Fast forward to now, I have another job, and made me realize that if I really want something fulfilling, I have to define it for myself. No one's going to be able to define it for me. Not my parents, not my friends, not my relationships that I'm in, not my brothers, siblings, anyone. Even if I look for the closest person that I might I idolize, they have a different view of what life means for them, and how they got to that point is completely different than how I'm going to get to a similar point of quote unquote success. Unless you're 100% certain and you're fully self-aware of what you like and you don't like, some people like myself need to really try things out in order to be completely convinced, you know what, I tried it out for a while, and really it's just not something that fulfills me. Because granted, I'm aware that I'm in a super privileged position that in America, a lot of us, especially after the whole Pan-African happened, shout out YouTube algorithm, hello, looking beautiful again. A lot of us are not just working for money, we're working for fulfillment, for something more intrinsic. And I think that's where my quarter life crisis lies, because a quarter life crisis, I think really it's a death of your old identity and the birth of a new identity, which I'm currently creating. And that new identity is either formed by you or by the values that society imposes on you. Because I'm hard-headed, I do not like it when people tell me what I need to value. You have to come up with your own conclusions about life and with your own ideas about what is true, what isn't. You have to make your own decisions based on your experience. And I get it, nature nurture could definitely skew your perception about life, about what's attainable, about careers, about everything. I think at the end of the day, as long as you're striving to create the life that you want to create, like a life by design, not just by chance or by just not taking control of what you can control, then you're on the right path. So this is me. This is where I am right now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. And take care.